Hello everyone, my name is Flare Blitz and we've returned back to our adventures, wonderful adventures mind you, of Girls. And the game has been given a big update to the point in which previous save data have been erased from the pre-public release. Which means we have to go through the game again, but I've made exactly the same choices. But when we went into the mall, Sina shows up rather than just Hayasaka alone herself. So here we are. So Sina's with us. Sina stops a few steps away from us. Sina-kan, fancy meeting you here. Sina-kan, you know, looking cute. Thanks, Hayasaka-san. Of course, you're looking quite cute as well. You think so? I do. Don't you agree, Florian-san? I think I cannot agree with either of you two, so I'm gonna meet in the middle. You're both oh so ootsy cutesy cute. You mean I have to pick? I don't know. You're both really cute. Thank you. Not every day I get put on the same level as Sina-kan here. Please, Hayasaka-san. If anything, I'm happy to be compared to you. You don't really mean that. You're the model here. I don't see how that matters exactly. But now that you remind me, I'm actually here to work. Ah, so you model around the shopping mall. I'm just taking over for a model who called in sick. They seem to have contracted a virus of some sort. Oh dear, does it one begin with C? Like that drink that people have? It's quite unfortunate. I hope they're alright. I didn't realise they did photo shoots at the shopping centre. There are studios on the upper floor, along with a couple talent agencies. I'm sorry, but I have to run. It was nice to see you. Thank you as well. No problem. See you at work tomorrow. Goodbye, you two. Take care. Goodbye, Sina. This is a lovely surprise. So, I did exactly the same decision-making prior, but yet Sina shows up at the shopping mall, so it would have to do with either the save data itself somehow changing so that other events transpire by, or it's just a flip of a coin moment where you either get to see Sina at the shopping mall or not. What? Hold on. Again, another event has changed. Sina is the one that approached us this time rather than Hayasaka. What have you done, developer, to the script of the game? Or perhaps this is how it's meant to be, and I was just accidentally lucky to fall into the wonderful hands of Hayasaka when it comes to looking for Nanase. I no more than make it to the door and someone grabs my hand. I turn back and find Sina squeezing my fingers. Her word gaze locks with mine as she fights back some tears. Flarina, let me go with you. Sina-kan, I need everyone here looking after the cafe. Please? I'm worried about her. What if something's happened? I want to help. Well, we did say that Hayasaka can come last time, so therefore you can come as well. Alright, let's go. As much as I want Sina to stay put, she's far too worked up to be here as it is. Besides, it's very possible I'll need help. Navigating and all that, if Nanase is hurt, having an extra set of hands, even if just a call on ambulance, could make all the difference. Ayase-san. Yes? Can you handle opening the cafe? Ayase shoots her hands up to her forehead like she's saluting me. That's the Ayase I know. Yes, sir. Ayase-san. Sorry, Hayasaka-san. If you are busy, keep trying the phone. I will. I wish I had something to break the tension, but everyone's worried. And rightfully so. Their friend is not here. Their family, or the rest of the family's not here. The longer I linger, the worse it'll get. I'll give a final wave to the others before turning to Sina. Let's go. Together we step out of the cafe. And on the bustling streets, with Akihabara waking up, crowds of people pour out into the streets and over the sidewalks. It's not nightlife busy, but Sina and I get shoulder to shoulder rather quickly. Ah, claustrophobia. Or is it something else? It makes things difficult with using my phone to navigate. I'm constantly sidestepping people and bumping into others whenever I glance down to see where we are. Cena looks to be having trouble keeping up as well. It doesn't help that she's flustered and apologizing to every unintentional nudge she steps into. I stop when I realize she's not at my side. Cena-can? I ask, turning around. She's a few paces back, so I move off to the side to wait for her to catch up. I'm sorry, Florina-san. I'm trying to keep up. It's okay. I just don't want you getting lost on me. I can only look for one person at a time. Oh, I intended it as a joke, but Cena doesn't laugh. In fact, she has the exact opposite of reaction. Yeah. You know very well that a person is not in front of you is not as important as somebody who is in front of you, who is equally as valuable. Crap. Am I about to make her cry? Am I that much trouble? Of course not. I'm glad you're tagging along. Really? Absolutely. I don't know what's going on with Nanase-can. I hope she's alright. But if she needs help, I'm glad to have you with me in case she needs it. Hearing that lifts her spirit. She gives me a warm smile and nods her head. I'm glad I decided to bring Cena along. Having her here is actually helping to keep me calm. She has that aura about her that allows others to stay calm. Maybe because I'm worried about her, I'm forced to stay realistic and optimistic about Nanase. The crowds are thick though. Probably people going to work and families hanging out. If it is the weekend it is the weekend after all. What should we do? Oh, we didn't get a choice with Hayasaka, but maybe because we weren't close enough to her? Let's stay close together, or how about we do the forbidden decision that every single individual on the planet reefs with fear every time they see it or when they see a gif of it? How about we hold hands? We don't want to get separated. What about holding hands? It'd be easy on both of us. Are you sure it's okay? I nod. It's better than getting separated. Not to mention I won't constantly be checking over my shoulders to make sure she's following me. Also, it makes us look like a couple. I'll bump into less people and can focus more on where we're going. Double win. Of course. Only if you don't mind, that is. I don't want to force her though. Hand holding can be a big deal for some. Okay. Reaching over, offer my open hand, she places her slender palm against mine and I close my grip around her fingers. Soft. Warm. I admit I blush a little when touching her like this. Even Cena's cheeks turn a light shade of red. We can't get too caught up though. I was about to say, reading too far ahead of me there. This isn't a date and we still need to find a Nanase. Let's go. She nods and I pull her back out into the crowd with her hand in mine. I push through the layers of people, being careful not to move too fast or to slide into a direction that Cena couldn't follow, as many layers as an ogre. After some wandering, we finally put away from the busier sections of Akihabara. With quieter streets ahead, it's easier for us to walk normally and focus on the road and where the next turn will be. Cena still looks worried. I can tell she's very thankful to be away from the crowds, but until we find Nanase, I think this is just going to keep eating away at her. At her. And not surprising. Pulling out her phone, Cena checks for what I'm assuming are messages from Hayasaka. She tucks away and acts like she'd never even touched it. Nothing? Oh. No, nothing yet. I'd caught her off guard with a question. She jumps in surprise. Maybe forgetting I was right next to her. Or just really lost in thought. Maybe a little conversation will break some tension. Something that will break the ice. How long have you known Nanase? Since I started working at the cafe. Yeah, I hear she was one of the original ones, Nanase. About 2 years ago, I think. Wow, that's a long time already. And we're like just over 2 days. And the others? They started after me. Ah, so you're the second one. I note Sina and Nanase are the highest ranking of the two. Even though I have their files on hand, I haven't really delved into them. Maybe you should, for business purposes. The girls just sort of came with the cafe, and being such good workers, I never felt the need to dig into their history. You may never know what kind of criminal activities that these wonderful maids have been up to. Hayasaka-san started right after me, though. Ah, so she's third and Ayase is last. Does it go by age? Oh, I didn't know that. I bet you have some good stories about those two. Want to share any? Unless I have a short laugh to help lighten my mood, it doesn't seem to work though as Sina gives me a sideways look. I don't appreciate gossip, Lorena-san. It causes all sorts of problems. Sorry, I suppose you're right. A surprising sound escapes Sina's lips. She's laughing. I turn and find the girl letting out a hearty laugh before smiling back at me. I'm sorry, Florina-san. I do have quite the stories. Those two likes to bicker for the longest time. No kidding? Sina nodded, though she couldn't go into detail. More like we didn't have time for stories. After rounding a corner, we came across Nanase's apartment. Our light-hearted mood, while brief, was a nice reprieve from everything. It helped shorten the walk and calmed Sina's and my nerves down. Worry did return as we hurried up the exterior stairwell leading to Nanase's apartment. I wonder if we went alone, that would have been a benefit towards a possible Nanase route. When we located the appropriate door, Sina pushed in on the doorbell and let it ring for a few seconds before pointing away. I think it would be a good indicator, actually, if whichever girl comes forward first would be the girl in which we're kind of most on track in order to approach their route in the game. Because it's not like if you do a specific set of instructions, the game would tell you, like, you're progressing towards this path, you're progressing towards that path. You need to figure out for yourself, and that's good. I moved to stand beside her, waiting for Nanase to spring out from her lair. Is that the... No, that's the wrong kind of lair, actually. It's supposed to be L-A-I-R, and let us know she was okay. Nothing. Sina pushed in on the doorbell once more, this time holding it in for a solid 10 count. She pulled her finger off and nothing. She's not answering. I turn and start banging my fist against the door. Nanase-can, are you in there? You've been a very naughty girl. I knock on the door once more, slamming my fist hard to hopefully drag her out. Sina pushes once again on the doorbell, close to tears as she just holds the button in. I'm about to knock again when I hear some fumbling around inside. I gently push away Sina's hand from the doorbell just as the door to the apartment swings open and comes out the waking bear. Hey, did someone call me waking bear? What the hell do you want? I'm trying to... Nanase-can! She doesn't get another word out as Sina presses in. Okay, Nanase, the embrace is so out of the blue, then it stops Nanase right in her tracks. Nanase looks to me for help. I just shake my head. No way I'm getting in the way of that. Exactly. Do you realize what's going on? Alright. I get it. I'm sorry. But you didn't come to work. Grabbing Sina by the shoulders, Nanase pushes the girl away and blushes herself off. She's mildly annoyed, but also tired. I can see the bags under her pale blue eyes. Yep, they're definitely there. She leans against the doorway for support and can't help but rub the sleep on her eyes. What the hell have you been doing? Obviously, we know. What's going on? Are you alright? I didn't mean to skip. I worked on the website later than I should have. Well, you're determined, girl, but for goodness sakes, you should respect your sleep. Wait, you worked on the website? Just how late were you up? Nanase pulls out her phone to check, but from how her shoulders slump and her eyes open, I'm betting she's coming across all of Hayasaka's messages. She stumbles for a bit through her phone before finally tucking away. I don't know, but I probably only got 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Well, you best go to sleep early tonight, Nanase. Nanase-can, you shouldn't do that. You get yourself sick. I'm fine. Really? Listen, you really didn't have to stay up doing that. You need it done, right? Why not, though? Well, it's done. Almost. I'm waiting on a few things from Kotori-san and Ayase-san. Kotori being Hayasaka's sister. Ayase-san. Otherwise, I think it's ready. I scratch my head. Of all the reasons to miss work, this is about as good a reason as any. Actually, it's been a damn good reason to give her the day off, but she didn't let us know that she was going to not be in, which would have been more helpful than just keeping us in the dark. You want to just stay at home and sleep? You've earned it. I think I'll pass. Don't want someone banging down my door again. Hey, let me get cleaned up. I turn to Sina. She's just as bewildered as I am, but she's smiling. Nancy is okay. That's the important part. Not to mention spending all night on a website. I was guessing a week or two of development on that, not an overnight turnaround. Well, pigs do fly after all. Why don't you call Hayasaka-san? Let her know what's going on. Okay. I'll let Sina make her phone call while I wait for Nancy. It takes a few minutes, but by the time Nancy reappears, Sina's just gotten off her call with Hayasaka, and here she is. Ready? More than ever. Shall we? We shall. I'll let Nancy and Sina take the lead as we head back towards the cafe. I'll listen in on their little conversations, which mainly consist of Sina talking Nancy's ear off. Nancy is still upset that she overslept, but I think Sina's just glad to have her co-worker back. Gotta admit, so am I. Okay, we're back to where we should have originally started the video. Hello there, my name is Flapblitz, and welcome back to Girls, Girls, Girls. Hope you're enjoying this adventure so far. Please leave a comment and a like if you're enjoying this game so far. His red hair, though, I'm amazed at how long he's grown it. You did arm day at the gym again, didn't you? Ah, so they are equated, aren't they? You bet. I have to balance my workouts somehow. I can't just hop on the treadmill all the time, unlike some people I know. Hey, you know I'm not good at arm stuff. Well, you're not going to be a great maid if you don't know your arm stuff. I'm kidding, but I don't know how to do maid stuff. I don't have the biceps you do. That's because these babies, I've built them over time. They were sculptured from the finest artists in the world. You'll never get them either if you don't try. The two are so absorbed in their conversation that they don't even realize how loud they're being. I don't mind the chit-chat between the maid and the... well, maid I guess in this case, but Ayase especially should know how to keep the volume down. So, is that why you're here, Kazumi-san? To admire my physique? Ayase takes a moment to flex her muscles. It's impressive. I've never believed that much in exercise. Well, more accurately, I believe in exercise. I just don't do it. Yeah, there's a difference between the both. But seeing Ayase suddenly motivates me to want to sign up for a gym membership. Nah, I'll get plenty of that when we work out. I actually stopped because I just finished up with a competition. Martial arts? 3rd place. Hey, congrats. Yeah, way to go, Kazumi. Maybe if you didn't skip arm day, you'd have taken 1st. Physique is not everything in martial arts. It is a very, very important factor of it. But there are many, many other things to consider as a martial artist myself. Ayase-san, really now? It was actually cute watching Ayase and Kazumi go back and forth. They were close friends, I could tell. The customers didn't appear to mind either. Some even sound interested in the conversation. Still, I don't want things getting too out of hand. Ayase-san? Got your work cut out for you, I see. Flarina-san. This is my friend Kazumi-san. I see that, and it sounds like you two work out together. We do. We're always going to the gym for a workout, or the pool for swimming. Now, unlike Hayasaka's sister, this is actually what we call a good first impression. Or a pool for swimming. You should see Ayase-san in a swimsuit. It's hella kawaii. Kazumi. Especially when we're out at the beach. Oh dear. Ayase quickly placed a hand over Kazumi's mouth, stopping the boy from finishing his sentence, and possibly for the best as well. Times are too early after all. I can't help but laugh. Energetic doesn't even begin to describe Kazumi, and he's got a bit of bite to go with that bark, it seems. Yeah. Always nice to approach an individual with a lot of confidence. Ayase's face turned bright red at a beach comment. If we can get 30,000 copies of Go Girls Girls sold, maybe we'll be able to see that visual of Ayase a reality. And now I can't get the image out of my head. Part of me wants to ask for details, but the other part knows but exactly. Always listen to your angel side rather than your horny side. Besides, I'm sure other customers will be badgering Ayase enough about what they're overhearing. Sounds like you two are really close. I'm glad that Ayase-san has someone like you. Just try not to disturb the other customers here. Or the other maids for that factor. I give a nod to the other tables where customers are sitting, looking over at them. Picking up on the situation, Kazumi's smile suddenly drops. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be loud. Let's just be humble about this, okay? It's okay. Hey, it's no big deal. I actually enjoyed listening in. Really? Does that mean you work out too? No, I wish I do, but no. His excitement embarrasses me, especially since I didn't work out. I attempted to lie, but then I'd have to describe my routine, and that would not go very well. I've not heard of this routine before. Wait, you're lying, aren't you? No, I'm a bit more lazy about that stuff. But I heard about that martial arts competition. Congratulations. Thanks. Third place was a first for me. Exactly, yeah. Especially if it's like your first time going to a martial arts competition. It's quite thrilling in a ways, but it's also really, really daunting, especially for your first time. Would it be the first time Kai-san hears about this? Ayase. Kai-san? A friend of yours? Kazumi starts to speak, but Ayase cuts him off. Apparently stealing the excitement Kazumi had just a moment ago, and maybe taking a bit of revenge for the swimsuit comment earlier. Yeah, exactly. It's short for Kaitiki-san. It's his stuffed animal. Ah, he's always hugging that bunny and talking to it. Hey, that bunny has feelings, and you goddamn well know it. It's so sweet. Ayase-san, please. There's nothing wrong with having a bunny, okay? Just like there is nothing wrong with having, let's say, a Pokemon plushie. I have lots of those. I put on a polite smile, chuckling while Ayase continues to spill the beans about Kazumi's stuffed bunny rabbit. Somewhere I went from trying to quiet them down to becoming privy with all kinds of information I never intended on learning, and forgetting how to be a manager at the store. Alright, no need to torture the poor boy. Kazumi looks over to me with a glare, as if worried I'll make fun of him. If it's something he's sensitive about, then I certainly don't want him upset. It's cool. I used to have some stuffed animals myself. They can be very comforting when you need a hug. Ah, now he's butting in. Hearing that alone brings a smile right back to Kazumi's face. He gives Ayase's shoulder a little shove as punishment. Well, I won't bother you two any longer. Just remember, Ayase-san, there's other customers here too. I decide not to intrude upon their conversation any further, just tone it down. Ayase even gives me a salute as I turn to head back to my office. Excuse me? Kazumi calls after me before I can even get a foot away. I turn and find the boy fumbling around with his hands. Developers, is there a Kazumi route in the game? I'm kidding. Did you need something? You're the manager here, right? I look to Ayase, who gives me a wink, who is expecting this, whatever this is. Yes, I'm a manager here. Do you think I'd ever be able to work here? At this current situation, no. As a maid? So that's what he was nervous about, just seeing Kazumi with Ayase. I should have expected this kind of question. Look, we would love to have more people on board, but financially we're struggling even with the original 4. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if seeing Ayase in the maid outfit is what got Kazumi interested in cross-dressing. The two seem to feed off each other's energy. Kazumi-san, if I didn't know any better, I would have guessed you already worked here. You fit right in. You really think so? I can't wait. I'll work extra hard so I don't let you down. I didn't even say you were I didn't even say you were hired. Take it easy. You're not hired yet. Oh, I will be. I've got Ayase-san as a reference after all. I have a good laugh over Kazumi's enthusiasm for his dress alone. He definitely has what it takes to be a maid here. Yeah, exactly. There's no kind of like preemptive background checks when it comes to a tier, when it comes to this sort of thing, because Kazumi already has the dress down to a T, 12 out of 10. It makes me wonder if this is how the other girls started as well. I decided to leave the conversation at that. I'm only adding to the energy if I hang around any longer. So I excuse myself and head back to the kitchen to check on Sina. She's busy with the ovens and baking up some fresh cakes to put out for the customers. She sees me and welcomes me with one of her signature smiles. Florina-san, I've heard you've met Kazumi-san. Yep, he's quite the character, isn't he? That's the understatement of the day. You can say that again. He's very friendly though, easy to get along with. He is very sweet. Kazumi-san is always stopping to see Ayase-san. They get along great together. He said he wants to work here. Then he asked you about it? The cafe has been on his mind for some time. I can tell. We're not hiring right now, but I hope he'll still be around when we are. Sina nods as she pulls out a freshly baked cake from the oven. She sets it aside to cool while frosting another. I watch her for a bit longer and realizing I'll be in her way if I linger any further. So I step back out into the cafe, and in the cafe, Kazumi appears to have taken off as Ayase is making around with the customers. And I don't see Kazumi's signature hair bouncing around anywhere. I love the twin tails though. Twin tails is a very underappreciated hairstyle, I think. I think for a moment what it would be like if we do eventually hire him. What a lively place a cafe would be. With the likes of Nanase and the others though, Kazumi will surely have his work cut out for him. But we do not have the finances to have a fifth maid on board. But we would love it. The rest of the day passes without issue. After the morning's commotion, both Sina and Ayase are in much better spirits. Oh, so it's just the two of them then? Okay. Having Kazumi around, even for a short while, put a skip into everyone's step, even mine. The positive atmosphere this week is the complete opposite of what we dealt with last week. Well, we still have tomorrow with Hayasaka and Nanase as the second pairing. Oh dear. It's almost as if things are back to normal around here. I'm very thankful for this change in pace and hope it will continue. As the day starts coming to a close, I get to helping out with the closing duties. After the last customer leaves, I go ahead and begin wiping down tables so that Sina and Ayase can focus on the kitchen and carrying in the promotional material. As we finish up with the duties, I put away the janitorial supplies and step back into my office to gather my things. It's been a busy day, but a good one. Perhaps I should thank the girls. We only get to thank just one of them? How the hell could you do that to me? That's really cool, game. Beforehand there was an option to be able to thank both of them, but I guess I did something wrong. Thank Ayase. Taking a skim through the website on my phone, I can't help but think of just how hard everyone has worked to make this thing a reality. And so fast too, the memory of Nanase acting all flustered from a nearly missing work still spreads a smile across my face. And I still have to thank Katori for providing the illustration. She's got some mad talent here. The one I still have to thank though for her hard work today and on the website is Ayase. I know she had to write some code in order to get some custom functionality into the site and get rid of those stupid pop-ups and ads. Sorry. The thing is, I have no idea as to what that all involved. I step out of my office and into the cafe just as Ayase was heading out. In fact, we need bump into each other trying to walk past the kitchen. I'm sorry, Ayase-san. Talk about some bad timing. No worries, it'll take more than that to knock me over. The near collision ends in a good laugh as we both make our way to the dining area. Before Ayase can leave her, I stop her at the door. I want to make sure to thank her properly this time. She deserves at least that much. You got a minute, Ayase-san? Sure. What you need? I drop down in the nearest chair and Ayase steps over, sitting down across from me. Maybe I should make this a regular thing. One-on-one conversations with the employees. Not a bad idea. Yeah, exactly. And also just ask how they're getting along. I just wanted to thank you for all the hard work you've been doing. Between working on the website and being so understanding with the schedule changes and everything, I really appreciate it. Oh, that's what this is. Yep, that's what this is. What do you think this was about? Oh, nothing. So even the innocent Ayase has a little bit of naughtiness in her step. Ayase lets her cute laugh, relaxing back in her chair. Maybe she thought I wanted to speak to her about earlier. And the noise levels, I shrug it off and move instead to the website. Thanks again for your help with the website too. Was it a lot of work? Nah, once Nanase-kan showed me what she needed, it was a breeze. I did struggle for a bit with triggering menu animations, but I just had things wired up to the wrong event. You're getting into territory that's way over my head. This has gone beyond alien and into the unknown, almost paranormal. It's not that complicated. Not like I was multi-threading or anything. Okay, that's really getting over my head. What? I'm not. Nanase-kan said the same thing. I bet she did. So then, I bet that has something to do with website interlinking and stuff. So then, do you still spend time coding? Not really. I read some blogs here and there. Sometimes poke at a project or two, but that's about it. Well, she could have fooled me. The way Ayase spoke gave the impression she could reprogram the entire POS system at the cafe. Could you point towards what POS means? Who knows, maybe she could, and is just keeping it secret. What other talents do you have up your sleeves, Ayase? So how long did it take to finish? I bet you weren't up all night like Nanase-kan. Not all night. It was after midnight, but not by much, I think. So casual about it. Anything after 11 for me and I'd be dead the next morning. Someone call in sick for me, I can't make it. That's still late. Ayase shrugs it off. She's young, of course, it wouldn't bother her. Not that I'm an old geezer. I'm turning 30 this October, but well, some days I feel old. Of course, I'm used to living with my parents and getting my ear nagged off for daring just stay up past 10. Glad I'm finally out of that place. That said though, this is my first time out on my own. I take a glance out the window and see some of the stores across the street. Something wrong, Florinia-san? Oh, it's nothing. Just thinking about non-work stuff. Care to elaborate? I try to casually dismiss the topic, but Ayase takes an interest, her ears perk up and she leans in. Like what? Anything I can help with? I'm a bit surprised at her offer, but then again, why should I be? Since starting to work here, Ayase and I have really grown close. I'd almost say we're even becoming friends. She's been right there whenever I needed her. Sure, why not? Well, it's nothing big. It's just my first time living alone, and I guess I just don't know what to do with myself. Parents did a lot of the shopping and organizing. Ayase leans back, nodding her head. Oh, I see. You've come to the right person. I know all kinds of things you can do. Like what? Like, there's this great thrift store I like to go to. It's not far from here and has some amazing deals. I managed to get my phone there, second-hand, a little tinkering, and it's just like new. I don't know if I can fix a phone. As you can tell, I'm not IT savvy. Well, they still have lots of clothes for dirt cheap and some appliances and furniture too. Definitely worth a check. I'll make note of that. furniture can be ungodly expensive these days. Same with appliances. If I manage to find something slightly used and in good condition, that's money saved for the rent. Also, if you keep an eye out in the paper, there's usually some good sales at the supermarket. I plan out all my trips to only buy stuff on sale and then stock up for cheap. That's quite intelligent actually. That's really good. That's not a bad idea either. Ayase seems to be on a roll, like I've unlocked something inside her. Or you've unlocked something inside yourself, young man. Also, you can make some extra money by walking people's dogs and helping with garbage cleanup. I would love to walk people's dogs, that is. Ayase continues to talk about ways to save money and also earn a little on the side. Even down to small things like reusing disposable containers to avoid buying the expensive plastic ones. I smile as I nod along and listen. But something is off. Is Ayase struggling financially? Yeah, I'm thinking if she's got, like, a lot of this kind of stuff going on, then is it something that she had to do very recently? She looks so happy when she's here. Anyone would guess Ayase is just another girl without a care in the world. But we know that's not true. We know very well that this could be some kind of facade. But the most frugal things that she does to save money, every cent counts, it seems. And here I tend to ignore the occasional 100 yen coin of the street, whereas I'm sure Ayase would immediately pocket it like a piece of gold. I can't say anything though. I don't want to make things awkward, and Ayase is enjoying our conversation. Looks like I've got plenty of ideas to work with. I know just who to turn to if my lonely lifestyle goes south. Not like it could go any further south, that is. Now you're talking. Just leave it to me and I'll show you the way. Forward march. I say enthusiastically and manage to pull a smile from her. It's only then that I check the time and see we've been here BSing for over an hour. I wouldn't say that. Well, thank you, Ayase-san, again for all of your hard work and all of your help. But maybe we ought to call it a night. No problem, I've got nowhere to be. Yeah, I kind of... Get off Star Wars. I kind of do, though. It's called bed. Ayase laughs again as we both stand up to end our little meet, and it feels good to have had a chat with Ayase. I feel I've grown close to her as well. We'll see you Wednesday, Ayase-san. Take it easy. You know me. Yes, I know you. That's why I'm telling you to take it easy. Will you get off Star Wars already? Oh, for goodness sakes, it's going to be one of us. I wave Ayase-san off as she exits the cafe and is gonna go to work, locking things up and shutting off the lights. It's only then that I realise I completely missed seeing her. She probably left while Ayase and I were chatting. More than likely, she didn't want to disturb us, as polite as always. It wouldn't be impolite to butt in our conversation would welcome her. Once everything is accounted for, I head out of the cafe and to my apartment for a good night's rest. Into the land of daydream we go. Morning comes fast, sometimes faster than one would like. I find myself staying up late making custom placemats for templates I found online. Nothing too special, just basic paper printouts really. Supposedly they can help newer customers get acquainted with the cafe's culture and employees. It's nothing fancy. I basically copied some stuff from our site and then stamped on a generator crossword and some questions for the hell of it. It's called, look, you could copy my homework, but just don't make it look like I've copied it. You've copied it for me, got it? My wake-up routine passes in a blur, and I'm soon at the table eating a bowl of rice for breakfast. As I can't read through the newspaper while I eat, I wonder if you can find some sales in the newspaper as well. Politicians this, weather that, someone got hit with a baseball bat. Okay, maybe the news isn't the thing I should be focused on right now. It's another Hayasaka Nanase day. That's why I'm distracted and why I'm feeling a bit off. Last week we had an abysmal time in the cafe together, especially if ever Hayasaka's sister came in and all of that and tried to turn things south even further south than the southernest pit of hell can be. made worse by my attitude. I really screwed the pooch on that one. As I say, a lot's happened since, though. We've revamped our online presence, and all the girls were far more upbeat this past weekend. But that was the weekend and not now. Even yesterday, IRC and Sino enjoyed their shift together, and everyone had some good laughs. I think we could alternate between maids throughout the week, though. Like someone works Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or someone works Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Something along those lines. Still, it's impossible not to be nervous knowing that I'll be alone with Nanase and Hayasaka again, with two more demeaning of the maids. Two more bolder ones. I do wonder, though, how things will be between Nanase and Hayasaka. I think those two will do just fine, but it's mainly the manager that's the iffy link. When Nanase pinned me against the wall in my office, I sensed something pass between the silver-haired maid and Hayasaka. If I'm not mistaken, those two have been working here the longest. They have history together. That's why Hayasaka appeared as upset as she was at finding us. Could they be an item? Or maybe they were at one point. I think you shouldn't dive too deep into this history malarkey. I don't know. And I don't really have the time to ponder it. I need a game plan for the day. My walk to the cafe is an eventful, and before I know it, I'm at the cafe's door letting myself in. The best thing I can do for now is focus on the day ahead. Bringing up last week is a distraction that no one needs. Exactly. We look forward, not look back. Or suffer. Oh, great. What's with that face? Hayasaka's the first one to arrive. She brushes her hand through her lilac hair as she enters. I can sense the tension emanating from her when she brushes past me. Good morning, Hayasaka-san. Her expression changes like she hadn't even realized I was there. Oh, morning, Florina-san. Sorry, I didn't really see you there. Yes, of course. Me, 6'6", not visible. Her mind is somewhere else. I need to tread the waters carefully here before it turns into a typhoon. Let's not cause any more ice than there is. No big deal. No big deal. We'll have our off days. Try to take it easy today. Yeah, I will. Nanase, can you hear yet? I shake my head. Nope. You're the first of the maids. One of two maids, I mean, sorry. Hayasaka breathes out a sigh of relief. Maybe the number screen would be even more aggravating. Looks like I wasn't the only one worrying over the two. Hayasaka checks the clock on the wall and gives me a weak smile. I'm going to get changed then. Hayasaka walks off to the locker room to get changed for the day. It's not the calmest start, but we've had worse. Yeah, last time was worse. I do hope that her mood improves throughout the day. I go about prepping some flyers and placemats onto the tables when the door to the cafe opens up again. This time it's Nanase that wanders in. She's just as distracted as Hayasaka seemed to be. Good morning, Nanase-kan. I say, meandering between tables to make sure everything is in place. Nanase watches me with a bit, inspecting the cafe. Perhaps assessing whether or not it's just the two of us. The sound of a locker closing from the back, though, signals that it's not just us. Morning. Something special today? She nods at the placemats I'm setting out, and I offer her one to look at. While she skims over the agnonated paper, yeah. Elongated paper. I don't know how to pronounce that word, actually. I'll give her a brief explanation. I saw that some places use these as conversation starters between servers and customers. We've had some new people pop in thanks to the website and social media, so I thought I'd try something different. Nanase eyes it from her and then hands the paper back to me. You suck at art. So this is how it's going to be again. What'd you do? Screenshot the site and dump it into the printer? I know my lip fighting the urge to argue back her that, and I don't want to admit she's 100% correct in how I built this. I thought it looked pretty good for my first try. I even added a flowery border around the edges. That's exactly what you did. I'm caught. She is the artist after all, so I guess it's not that surprising she'd figure me out like this. Why don't you just ask me next time? You need something? Save everyone the humiliation. It's not that bad. Nanase gives me a sideways look before shrugging her shoulders as if to retort, whatever you say. She takes her things and heads off into the locker room to get changed. At least someone seems to be in a good mood. She's in such a good mood that I need a few moments to calm down. Now that Nanase has figuratively torn apart my placemats, I can't help but feel embarrassed to have them out on display. They do look off now that I see them. Damn. But I'm leaving them out. I put too much work into these things to back out now. Sometimes though, even though you've done a lot of hard work, you gotta know that sometimes all that hard work is unfortunately not it. And I wait. And wait. What's keeping them? Hayasaka should at least be out by now. She's got a head start on changing after all. Look, are you really going to try and pop in while they're changing? That would be a little bit on the embarrassing side. Hayasaka should at least be out by now. She's got a head start on changing after all, but I'm still alone out here on the floor. We're losing time to finish up the opening duties. The cafe is opening soon. Nah. I'm going to be the one that's bold. And for goodness sakes, give them an earful. It's been too long. I need to say something to them. Or at least see what they're doing. If something is bothering the two girls so much that they're unable to work, I'm willing to hear them out. Even close the cafe for a part of the day if necessary. But there needs to be communication. I can't help them if they won't talk to me. As I step into the hall, I can already hear muffled voices coming from the locker room. Only when I got close do I realize the door is left open just a crack. Oh gosh. It's enough though for me to hear what they're saying. Oh, so there is a little bit of history then. You were just as every bit of a pain in the ass as you are now. Talking like you own the place. It's a wonder I didn't quit. I'm surprised you didn't. Or at least fired when you skipped work that one weekend. Hayasaka skipped work? When was this? As long as I'd been the manager here, the only one that even came close to skipping was Nanase when she overslept. You remember why I skipped? Yeah, I called you ugly in front of a customer. Didn't expect him to agree with me, though. Hayasaka let out a sad, wistful laugh. I spent the night in tears. I was home alone too. It was cruel. No, what was cruel was Kotori-san giving me a black eye and busting my lip. Look. It's not that what Kotori-san did was good at all. It wasn't. But what you did to initiate that event is bad. I looked like a used crash dummy. Hey, what are you... It suited you. A big bully getting her ass handed to her. And the busted lip made you look like a delinquent. Oh dear, a moment's silence passes between the two before Hayasaka speaks again. It was really sweet of you when you apologized though. You can be nice when you want to, Nagashi. This feels like a very private conversation, something I shouldn't be listening to. But I can't pull away. Hearing this intimate moment between Nanase and Hayasaka makes me feel close to them. These girls have so much history to them, more than I ever knew. You fishing for compliments or something? No, but an I'm sorry would be nice. For what? You and Florina-san. Ah, you always take things too seriously. Lighten up, will you? I felt a pain in my chest when hearing that, because you know what that event transpires back to, when Nanase was in the office and ambushed us. Even now, Nanase tried being so casual and so that had clearly upset Hayasaka. I couldn't help but flinch when I heard my name. Nagisa, I want to hear it. Fine, I'm sorry. I was just teasing him. That's all. I think there was more to that than just a little teasing. Nothing serious. Well, I am serious. I'm trying to be at least. A silence passes between them. I couldn't quite get a feel for the mood. The more I listen though, the stronger a sense I get of Hayasaka's feelings for Nanase. Glad you're back to being you, I guess. You about done changing? We got work to do. Yeah, just give me a minute. Sheesh. I hear them fumbling around, decide I better let them go. I prefer it if they weren't aware of my eavesdropping. Really, I shouldn't have listened in the first place. Just mind where you step or something, in case you knock over something and they were that you were nearby. Better yet, I should have just knocked on the door and told them to hurry up. At the same time, though, I think something worked out. Heading back towards the dining area, I take one peek to the door and freeze. Nanase, the door is open just enough for me to see her watching me. She's a god. I don't know what to say or how to respond. For a moment, our eyes just meet. My heart pounds in my chest, and I try to stutter out some kind of response, but something from inside the locker room catches Nanase's attention. Maybe Hayasaka? Because after a moment, Nanase's face disappears back into the locker room and the door shuts. I'm still shaking, heart pounding and mind going blank. Would she say anything? What would Hayasaka say if she found out? I thought last week sucked. Any respect the girls might have on me would be gone. I stumble my way out into the dining area and finish up what I can with opening duties. Just as I finish up, Hayasaka and Nanase both step out of the locker room, changed and ready to go. Are we good? I ask when I see the two out and about. After the time they spent in the locker room, I'd like to make sure we're all ready for the day. There are customers to serve after all and people to call master, as long as there aren't any more surprises. Good. Let's open up then and have some fun. If you need help, I'm right here to lend a hand. For a moment I considered doing some kind of team huddle like at a sporting event. Maybe I could convince Hayasaka to join me, but I think Nanase would scoff at the idea. Soft brand for the cafe in a way the short pep talk would have to suffice. Okay. Our doors end up opening a couple of minutes later, but that doesn't hurt us. The first round of customers don't step inside until nearly an hour in. It's a slow, steady drip for a while, and I find myself dropping into a corner booth to poke away at my computer with some busy work. Well, at least it's not in the office. I might as well hang out around the girls for a while. The office gets to be stuffy anyway. Perhaps a little bit of renovation to the office might be okay. Like, I don't know, if the room that the office is in can have a window, that would be very revitalizing, especially in the summer months. Welcome, Master. May I start you off with a drink? Yeah, I think I'll have a coffee. And then, can I really ask you any of these questions? Questions? Direct hit. One of the first customers of the day, and it's a newbie. Not that I spent much time observing our customers, but after working here for a while, it's easy to tell who has stopped before and who hasn't. There's a certain air about our regulars who come in, sit down, and immediately start up a chat with whichever maid stops at their table. I swear, manager, if he put down some really weird questions, then there's not going to be the end of it from either Hayasaka or Nanase. The newer, inexperienced customers tend to be nervous train wrecks that can barely order their food, much less converse with the staff. Hayasaka leans close to the table, inspecting the placemat the customer is pointing to. One of the things I included was a list of conversation pieces for customers to use to get to know their maid. Some of the questions I pulled off the internet and others I came up with on my own. Please tell me you at least thought about the questions. Of course, what would you like to know? Then. Why did you decide to become a maid? I'm starting to think this might be a hit and miss question. Hayasaka ponders the question for a moment. I almost wonder if she's generally stumped or if she's got some kind of answer planned. Surely it's not a strange question to ask. And I just remembered about the heads up thing, just like with the shift changes. We didn't really give a heads up, did we? That's the question you want to ask? Don't you think I'm suited to be a maid? She does a twirl in place with a customer and I see what she's doing. One look at the man's face says it all as he glows red like a beetroot. He quickly starts to go into a ramble of how of course he thinks she belongs here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. You look really pretty in that maid outfit. I didn't mean to question you at all. I just wanted to know. His voice trails off and Hayasaka lets out a giggle. I'm just teasing. I became a maid because I really like the uniform. I get to spend all day with my cute friends and meet new people just like you. Now, doesn't that sound fun? It does sound fun, but unfortunately the facial expression that Hayasaka is emitting does not make it sound like it's just fun. Yes, it does. But I don't think I could do it. It's not for everyone. Hayasaka cackles at the guy's reaction. Let me get you that coffee. The man blushed and nods, letting Hayasaka step away to grab his drink. It's an amusing little interaction that makes the placemats a complete success. Yes! We just gotta work on the designs of the placemats, so. No matter what Nanase has to say about them, this is one victory for us and one defeat for Nanase. Speaking of, I glance over to our silver-haired maid to see just what she's up to. I can't help but laugh when I see our customers discovered the joy our placemats can offer. Except instead of the questions, he's attempting a crossword puzzle with her. Our secret spells that make your food delicious. 8 letters. No, I can't really think of one. Nanase scratches her head, hovering over a customer's shoulders to try and figure out the mystery word. One's touch. Even the one who complains so much about my hideous placemats is now caught up in trying to solve one of its puzzles. 7 across has to be made. That means this letter is an A. Oh, I'm terrible at those. What's 5 across? The kingdom that we serve. I have to hold back a laugh with a few more customers sitting down and seeing the fuss from Hayasaka and Nanase over the placemats. Everyone is starting to study up their own copies, and Nanase isn't any close to figuring things out. Eventually, Nanase excuses herself to wait on some other people. She can't hang around the same person all day after all. Maybe others will clue her in with the answers. I decide to poke away at my computer for a few minutes, check some emails, get some inventory ordered. Basic stuff is not long though before someone taps me on my shoulder. Is it Hayasaka who's tapping me? Oh, Nanase. Okay. I thought we would have seen her approaching us. Hey, manager-san. What? Can you see I'm working? I'm only messing around when I say that, but Nanase furrows her brow. 4 down. What is it? It's driving me nuts. I have 3 people asking me. Nanase slaps a placemat down and points to the crossword. Why are you making crosswords our customers can't figure out? Hey! You know, that is a mystery of itself. It's called You Help the Customers as well. It's an interactive experience. Yeah, exactly. Give her a clue and nothing else. Nanase is a smart girl. She can figure out what the answer is. Give her a clue and nothing else. I'm not giving you the answer. These things aren't impossible, Nanase-can. If a human can make it, then a human can answer it. You're overreacting. Have some fun with it. It is kind of cool, but the customers won't like the crossword if they can't figure it out. You didn't even print the answers on the placemats. Well, that would be boring, wouldn't it? She does have a point. Now that I think about it, usually when there's games or puzzles on these things, the answers are printed in small text on one of the sides. Oops, I'll have to remember that for next time. Hehe. The admission from Nanase, though, is more than I expected from her, especially since she took a massive dump all over the placemats just before work started. Okay, I'm glad there's some kind of context here, otherwise this could look very, very ew. Maybe seeing the customers enjoy the odds and ends on them is giving her a change of heart. Alright, how about I give you a clue? Would that work? Yeah, I guess that'll work. Good. And if people still have trouble, I'll hand over my answers. Deal. The clue is Lucky Charms. Think about the Lucky Charms you girls use for some of our food orders. A light bulb seemingly goes off in Nanase's head. I see it flickers of life in her eyes. I think I know it. Nanase hurries over to the original customer that had asked for her. I watch with great interest as they go about trying the word she'd come up with. I hear them move on to another one of the clues and suddenly they're feeling things out, left and right. Looks like she figured it out. Good for her. Next time I'll do better to include the answers on the placemats, and next time maybe I'll let Nancy design them as well, since she didn't like our design because she said they sucked. Like the cake I baked sucked as well. The day carries on and I casually observe a few more interactions of customers with Nancy and Hayasaka. I didn't print out many placemats, so we ran out pretty quick. What it is, it can be pretty expensive printing out a huge amount of them. It probably doesn't help that I used my own cheap printer paper. Next time I'll have someone else print them for us, give the paper a bit more of a professional coating. But also don't use cheap printer paper as well. Use something that has a bit of firmness to the paper itself. Something professional. That said, I'd say the day was an overall success. Checking social media, there's various posts about the questions and puzzles that people got to enjoy. Of course, one can almost pinpoint the exact minute we ran out of placemats, because later posts are crying about how they missed out on the fun. Yay! Next time, if you're early enough to the cafe, maybe you can have a chance at answering these placemats. And the evening comes. With another day behind us, I put away my computer and watch as both Nancy and Hayasaka head to be back to change. Perhaps I should say something to them. Well, since we spoke with Nanase last time, we are going to be speaking to Nanase again. I'm just kidding, we're going to be speaking to Hayasaka. I decided to speak with Hayasaka. Of the two, I get the sense that she'll be the most receptive to a chat. As much as I want to talk to Nanase, our silver-haired star had been standoffish today. I don't think Nancy is in the mood to really talk. I don't know, it's probably best to let her cool her head, and I can speak with her next time. With the two step out into the dining area, I'll meet them at the door. Florina-san, we're heading out. Actually, would you have a minute, Hayasaka-san? I'd like to have a quick word. Something wrong? No, of course not. It's more than just checking in. Hayasaka brightens up when I say that. Sure, I don't mind. Nancy looks at us both, dejected. Was she playing something with Hayasaka today? I don't know, maybe there's something about the peak in the locker room earlier. I can keep this brief if you two have something planned. I want to make sure I'm not inconveniencing them. It is after hours after all, and Hayasaka certainly isn't obligated to stick around. I considered doing this during working hours, but apart from the weekends, I can't afford to tie up one of my 2 weekday employees with a checkup. That's alright, I don't mind. Nakaji? Nancy shifts around when her name is mentioned. She looks unsure of herself, which isn't like her at all. Exactly, she's usually more the dominating individual. Letting out a sigh, Nancy shakes her head. It's fine. I'll see you later, Hayasaka-san. When Nancy leaves, Hayasaka's expression falls, and I can't help but wonder if I interrupted something. Perhaps I should have waited. Is this related to what happened this morning? Maybe they came to some kind of agreement or worked something out and I just interrupted it? Hayasaka looks to be worried. Is there something going on between you two? I don't want to come right out and say I overheard them this morning yet. That's absolutely for the best. It's possible Nancy told Hayasaka, but I doubt it. If that was the case, Hayasaka would have said something to me by now. Exactly, yeah. No, it's just... Nagichi just needs some space sometimes. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Are you sure? I'm sure. She'll be fine. I can always talk to her later. I decide not to press any further. If Hayasaka says it's fine, then I won't meddle in something that's none of my business. Even though we kind of already did that. Just let me know if you need anything. Not wanting to let things get on any more awkward, I move right to the point of the meeting. The sooner we get things started, the sooner we can finish. Anyway, I wanted to thank you for all of your hard work. It means a lot, and I'm glad to have you around, Hayasaka-san. What? Is that all this is? Well, no. I also wanted to know what you thought of today. What do you think of the placemats? They were okay. Kind of cheap, but the customers enjoyed them. Okay, I'm kind of glad that you saw that as well, even though it's kind of gnarring. Of course she'd mentioned the quality of them. Yeah, I get it. Basic printer paper combined with graphics and text don't always turn out well. At least she didn't rip them a new one like Nancy did this morning. I got the idea of doing some browsing last night. I'm trying to come up with ways to make the cafe more interesting. So that's what those things were about. I was so confused when someone showed me that list of questions. I can't help but laugh. Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty funny. You're creative. Let me know if you have any ideas. With a bright smile, she nods her head. Say, are you doing anything tonight? No, not really. What do you have in mind? Then come shopping with me. I'm ready to get out of this place. One of those days, I understand her. Even as much as she enjoys working here, we all have those days that once the shift ends, we're ready to leave. Exactly. Even though we always, well, some of us, we enjoy the work that we have, it's not always the case that we always want to always work. Sometimes, even when stuff you enjoy, you are really eager to leave. And leave it there for one day. And come back smiling, beaming as ever the next day. To be honest, I'm kind of ready to get out of this place too. But why I'm being invited to shop? I have no idea. Sure, why not? We close up shop, flicking off the lights and locking the doors. A few more minutes pass and we're out of the cafe and into the evening. Akihabara air, the smell of electricity, and certainly not a weird satellite object that came from the universe of Steins Gate. We arrive at the shopping mall and the place is rather busy. It's not bustling or shoulder to shoulder crowded like the other day with Cena on the streets midday. But there's enough people here where sticking close is necessary. Of course, the further into the mall we get, the more spread out the crowds are. It begs the question though, why am I here? My improv meeting just randomly turned into an improv date of sorts. Even though it's not a date, it's just two friends hanging out with one another. So, I don't mean to sound rude, but why am I here? Hey, that's a bit rude actually. Yeah, that sounds rude. And it's because I don't want to go alone. I normally do my shopping with someone else, but they're busy. Would that be your sister? If that was... Oh, or maybe Nanase. So I'm the substitute. I see how it is. Not my first... You are a quick jabber, Hayasaka. Gee, thanks. I must be making a face, because when I glance at Hayasaka, she's taking my expression a little too seriously. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. To be honest, I don't think I've ever been the first choice for anything. I released a sad laugh, trying to keep the mood light. Hayasaka invited me out here after all. I don't want to spoil things for her. What about the manager job? Nah, I wasn't the first pick on that either. Just the first one to accept the job from what I heard. It makes me wonder about the last guy that took the job. He was pretty quiet. Kept to himself mostly. Well, it's a good thing that we're not, what you'd call that. Oh yeah, I have to remember when pressing H, I have to click on the screen with a mouse. He was pretty quiet and kept to himself mostly. He was fine, then he suddenly left without saying anything. I nodded as I listened. The guy probably left due to the news that the owner laid on him. Personally, I don't blame him for jumping ship like that. Jumping ship before the ship sunk. The cafe's owner is a little crazy. It's impossible not to stress out whenever the owner calls at this point. Something wrong? No. Nothing at all. I quickly respond. I don't want my silence to be taken the wrong way. Hayasaka is already concerned as it is. So the last manager was quiet. Nothing like me then, I take it. Well, Hayasaka-san liked him. We got along just fine. I didn't have any problems with him. Though he never gave off weirdo... Really? Did we really do that? Did we really do that? Hayasaka-san, come on. Though he never gave off weirdo pervert vibes like you first did. Wait, how did I suddenly turn into a bad guy here? I did not give off pervert vibes. Hayasaka can't help but laugh at my reaction. I'm playing some of it up, sure. But at the same time, I wasn't trying to be a pervert after all. You were so awkward to be around, like you didn't know where to look. I felt like you stared at us whenever our backs were turned. Totally creepy. But that's not true. I was just nervous. Try to get to know everyone and figuring the place out. Hayasaka laughs again at me, and I cross my arms to powder. Okay, so it probably didn't help that Nanase flashed me. That's still etched into the back of my head, but I never went out of my way to leer at the girls. I'm not that kind of a person. Well, whatever it was, you weren't doing yourself any favors. I'm glad you're our manager, though. You're working hard for us. It means a lot. Despite all her joking around, Hayasaka is really sweet. In a way, she's the life of the party. I'm glad to have her around. I couldn't do it without all of you. No, you couldn't. She agrees with a hint of smugness to her voice, and stepping forward, she leads me to a small department store where she window shops through some dresses. We spent some time together flipping through the racks of clothes before Hayasaka eventually checks her phone. It's getting late. I better get going. Of course. Thanks for hanging out, Florina-san. She lets out a deep breath and swings her arms at her sides. I needed this. It was too stuffy in the cafe today. Too much going on. So there was something going on, because normally you wouldn't say that it's too stuffy. Something happened, didn't it? I understand. Let me know if you ever need anything. Of course. With a wave, Hayasaka hurries off towards an exit and is gone from the mall. Spending time with her outside of work like this was nice. Although this was not the first time we've seen each other at the mall, knowing the rush of the cafe between us allowed us both to relax and just shoot the breeze for a while. Hopefully, I'll get the chance to do it again with her. For now though, I do a bit of browsing through the mall and grab a few groceries for the apartment while I'm here. With a plastic bag in tow, I head home for a relaxing night and on to another day. Day. This is another date though. The days start to fly by as things return to normal. We skipped a few days. It's already Saturday and I've never seen everyone so upbeat at a place. Everyone is finally getting used to their schedules, and better yet, the cafe is bringing more money. Yay! Sitting at my desk, I've spent the last few hours crunching some numbers and adding all of the savings we've accrued. Between cuts in inventory management and daily operating costs, we've cut our overall expenses by nearly 30%, and that's big. Not only that, but with the revamping of our website and social media, we're not only seeing increased traffic online, but also increase in foot traffic to the cafe, which is excellent. We've seen a measured boost to our net income as well. More people are taking interest in the cafe and stopping by to see what it's all about. I actually spent a chunk of Friday in the kitchen helping with preparing meals. Normally I'd avoid cooking as customers prefer the maids to do it. In this case though, there was such an influx of people that IRC and Cena couldn't keep up. It's a little early to start bringing everyone back up to full time, but I'm sure was tempted to call it a third set of hands. Now this weekend though, we have all four of the guys working their hardest to serve all of our customers. From my desk I can hear chat and the occasional chimes of silverware on plates. That's right, I better get working on the food. With all our success, I want to have a little celebration. A staff party for the girls after work. In order to do that though, I need to prepare some food, prepping some pancakes, a few simple desserts and some drinks that should be more than enough for Nanase to criticize me again as saying that it sucks. Again. Everything I make will come out of my own pocket so we don't incur any unneeded expenses on the cafe. Exactly, you should never ever delve into the business's costs in order to fund this kind of stuff. That's out of line. Leaving my office, I step out into the kitchen when I bump into Hayasaka as she stands at the sink doing some dishes. Florina-san, starting work on the party, are you? Yep, don't want to slack off. Were you able to get a hold of your sister? Since Katori helped out with the illustrations on the website, I thought it only fair that she get invited as well, provided that she doesn't give us a poisonous jab like she did in our first interaction. The work that she provided and on such short notice helped give our website that extra bit of flair. I love that. Even though there is the correct terminology, actually. I just find it really funny seeing the word flare in a game. Yep, she should be on her way. Good. Hope she's ready for a buffet of delicious food and a healthy dose of partying. Hayasaka chuckles when I grab some mixing bowls and start combining the ingredients. I've been practicing my cooking skills at home to level up my abilities in the cafe. Are they up to par with the other four? I still do not think so. With any luck, I'll reach level 99 in no time and have the necessary skills to whip up any recipe this cafe could think to offer. But you're forgetting that the others are at level 420 blazing. Do you want any help? No. Giving Hayasaka a smile, I shake my head. No, I've got this. The party is all for you to enjoy. Not for you to set up. Thanks. No problem. You girls deserve this. Checking the clock, I see closing time is upon us. I should have no problem getting those pancakes whipped up for the girls along with some other treats and drinks. Perhaps in the future we'll be able to throw bigger parties and maybe even trips to different places. Like the beach? But that's wishful thinking for a restaurant that's currently in the red. So for now, this will have to suffice. Why don't you help with closing duties? The food will probably be ready by the time you girls finish. Okay. But shoot if you need something. Or if you like something I think you'll smell it beforehand. I won't. At least I don't plan to anyways. I start to argue back with her, but our fashionista takes off before I can properly respond. How many times have they preemptively accused me of arson? Or at least professional negligence? Can't you tell I'm working at least seriously? I can't help but laugh. The jokes aren't going to stop, so I may as well embrace it. I'm going to put up a new sticky pad on the fridge. Shaking my head at the silliness, I go to work mixing the ingredients, preparing the stovetop for pancakes, flipping and going to work. I overhear some chatter just as I finish up flipping several plates worth of pancakes, figuring there's 6 of us that will be celebrating. I need to ensure plenty of food for everyone. With some dessert set aside for the party as well, I fill up a cart and walk out into the dining area to greet everyone with their just as well deserved reward. Hello there. Oh my, he really did cook. Looky here, you, okay? We're set on the wrong foot, but that doesn't mean that you get to be here and tell us what we can and cannot do, okay? And looks edible too. Oh, shut up. Delicious even. Hayasaka and her sister are the first two I see when I step out of the kitchen. My cart of food is brimming with pancakes, desserts, and drinks for everyone. I greet them with a big smile. Katori is actually quite beautiful when she's not threatening to kill me. Yeah. Well, if you don't like the pancakes, you can have the desserts. I didn't make those. Desserts it is then. Damn. Hayasaka has a good laugh and even Katori can't hold her giggling. I don't mind though. This party is for them. It's for everyone really. If a little light-hearted ribbing is what it costs, then so be it. I'm glad to take one for the team. Or 10 of them. Despite the teasing over my cooking, both Katori and Hayasaka fill their plates with pancakes and syrup. And, you know though, there's not many men that'll cook for their women. You might just be special, Flaring-san. I smiled, pouring out some drinks for the girls. It's such a different side of Katori that I'm seeing. I don't immediately know how to respond to her. I can't stay useless forever. And I've started to enjoy cooking. Oh? Any chance you'd cook for me sometime? No! You got your sister for that. Katori-chan, what are you saying? My cheeks heat up and I can't help but agree with Hayasaka. Katori's leaned in over a meal, staring intently at me with that smile of hers. Don't you wink at me. Oh, nothing. Just bet if Flaring-san is looking for a girl. No, I'm not being your girlfriend. I might know someone. Hayasaka nearly chokes on her food when she hears her sister speak. You can't be serious, Katori-chan. Who knows? He is kinda cute. Kotori winks at me and goes back to eating. I suddenly feel like I need to say something. Hayasaka is glaring at me and Kotori is just eating all this up. Somehow I get the feeling I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't here. Look, just be the damned that you do rather than the damned that you don't. I already like someone. Yeah, we'll go with that one. We're gonna go with the more enigmatic route. I already like someone. As flattered as I am with Kotori's advances, I can't possibly reciprocate her feelings. Yeah, exactly, even though I'm fairly certain she's just teasing. Not wanting to take any chances, I come out straight with her. That's very flattering, but I've already got someone in mind. You do? Aw, pity. Hayasaka stares with great interest, even ignoring the slice of pancake that tumbles off her fork and onto the plate. Maybe. We'll see. Well, if she doesn't work out, you know who to call. Kotori-chan. I let out a nervous laugh. Hopefully it's convincing. Fortunately, Kotori burst into giggles and that grabs Hayasaka's attention. Where are the other three? I don't think she was serious, but that didn't stop Hayasaka from becoming flustered. And 2 others? He's already got the food out. Wow, there's so much of it. With Senior and Ayasa finally joining us, Hayasaka looks relieved that our previous conversation has finally come to an end with the interruption of 2 others. To be honest, I'm ready to talk about something else as well. I don't need to be stepping on any more landmines during this party. And it's about the website. Take a seat and grab a plate. I tell the 2. Where's Nanase-can? Is she coming? She'll be out shortly. She's changing. I'll just get her plate and ready so she doesn't miss out. I pile on a stack of pancakes for Nanase and sit it down in the empty seat where she'll be eating. Once that's settled, I load up some pancakes for myself and quietly snack away while listening on the girls' chit-chat. Those sprites were something else, Kotori-san. Are you going to college for graphic design or something? They are very detailed. And cute too. You're very talented. Thanks, Sina-can. And I'm actually eyeing a computer science degree. Maybe even break into game development if I'm lucky. Does that mean you're a code setter then? I have been hitting the books pretty hard. Studying some C++ and C hashtag. I'm pretty sure that's another name to it though. Not sure the programming route is my cup of tea. It doesn't hurt to be prepared though. Ayase nods her head excitedly. The prospect of having another coder in here energizes the girl, and I end up filling her plate with another helping of pancakes as a result. You did amazing work for the website. I'm sure you'll do great with game development too. What kind of games would you like to make? Kotori ponders the question for a moment, choosing her words carefully before eventually responding. Are you going to say visual novels with cute cross-dressing maids? I'm not sure. She's making a beat 'em up where you get to smack flurry a salary. Oh dear, Nanase. Nanase finally joined the party, so does in the most Nanase fashion possible. Her comment gets a good laugh from everyone, even me. The beating I almost received from Kotori has not been forgotten. That's sell millions. 100% completion, here I come. Hospital bed, here I come. I'm sorry for knocking the microphone. Oh, I love this. I love this game. The girls share another laugh and I finally put on some music. Kotori hangs around for a while longer, but soon has to leave for her studies. And now it's just the original crew. I'm also impressed with Kotori. She doesn't look it, but she's a hard worker and a very intelligent girl. Hey, looks can be deceiving after all. Top that off of her love for Hayasaka, and one would be hard-pressed to find a better little sister. Hey, lovely. We got ourselves another wonderful group shot with everyone. Is this going to be another one of those group photo moments? Damn, I have to do it with the mouse again. I really need it so that when you press H again, it goes back to this HUD. Once Kotori leaves, I pop out some alcohol for girls. Now that everyone present can drink, the real fun begins. And you wouldn't believe how she used to follow me around. She sounds like a sweet little sister. Hayasaka and Sino caught up in a lovely little conversation about Kotori from years past. I can't but listen to some of the sweet stories of the two siblings from when they were little. Something about the reminiscing warms my heart. It's almost like listening to my grandfather tell of his life back in the country. It feels so far away, yet so close to home. Look, if you work on a game and you somehow make food that looks so delicious, then the artists have done a splendid job with the artwork. Those pancakes and those strawberries, they all look so delicious. It'd be cool. The cafe is the backdrop, and you get to subplot the manager through tables. We could even use Florina as our model. No. Are you sure that wouldn't be seen as the model? Gotcha, we could add it on the website. I catch Nanase's mischievous gaze and I overhear her and Ayase continue their conversation about virtually beating me to a... Oh, we're talking about that, okay. And then hosting on the site, somehow I get a feeling that caused me more harm than good. Oh well, they're buzzed. I'm sure they're just having a good time. I hope. With the girls in as good a mood as they are, I figure now's the perfect time for my little announcement. It's something I've been sitting on since I started playing this little party. Getting up in front of the table, I clear my throat to get their attention. Girls. I'd like to make a special announcement to you all. I'll wait until all heads are turned towards me before continuing. Along with throwing this party for you and all of your hard work, I want to give you something else to enjoy. Funny, talking to them normally and I have no issue with speaking. Right now, though, it's like I'm on a stage in front of a crowded auditorium. All eyes are on me and I can't help but be a little nervous. You'll get tomorrow as a paid day off. The cafe erupts in cheers and whoops at my announcement. I break into a laugh with the other girls as I take in their reaction. Are you sure it's alright? Of course. With all the savings we've accrued, there's more than to give you girls a free day. Don't complain too loud, Sina can, or he'll make you work. I don't think Florina-san will do something like that. Of course he wouldn't. He's our hero, saving our Sunday. To our hero, Florina-san. The girls start raising their cups, cleaning them together before taking a drink. Chants of hero. Yay, I don't know how to chant that properly. Start escaping the lips of the drunks, and I quickly step back down before the chants escalate any further. Really, you girls have earned it. Enjoy. Our watchers before resume their party and merrymaking. I finally accomplished something here. It feels good. Damn well good. Seeing the food is all but devoured, I load up the cart with empty plates and garbage and headed back into the kitchen to do some cleanup. Even from the sink I can hear the laughter as the girls enjoy themselves. The whole time I'm smiling like an idiot. It's starting to get late, but I wish this night could just continue. I'm happy. They're happy. That's what matters. When I do return now, I see the floor clean up as well, wiping down the table and clean up anything I might have missed. It doesn't take long and we have everything ready for Monday. Monday. That gives us all a whole day off or whatever we want. What do I do myself? What a pretty sight. Just the cafe and it's nighttime and one of the thank you very much, Florina-san. It was nice to have a break like that. Yeah, and the break's just starting. Tomorrow, here I come. You are all very welcome. But all of this was a big thank you to the four of you. It's true. We're really great, aren't we? Of course, Hayasaka-san. The greatest. I glanced at Nanase and give her a nod. She's enjoying the evening like the rest of us. Unfortunately, the sun has long since set and I sense a wave of fatigue in the girls. both from the day's work and also from our celebration. Don't party too hard tonight, and enjoy tomorrow. I lean against the side of the building, watching everyone. Maybe I should get a final word in with one of the girls for the night. We haven't talked with any of them, though. And it would be nice to end off this episode with the morning in tow. So... I don't know, I'm really torn here. I'm really torn with... Let's talk to Nanase. As everyone starts to take off, I notice Nanase loitering near the cafe. Of everyone, she puts in the most extra time for this place. She's been here for the longest, and she really cares about the others. Though she can be a pain in the ass, I'm glad she's here. Nanase-can. What's up? I casually ask, stepping over beside her and just staring off into the night lights of Akihabara. It's no moonlight countryside, but all of the specks of light from the surrounding buildings provide the city with its own starry kind of sky. Thinking, oh? That's a new one? Is that meant to be an insult? Speak for yourself. My little ribbing is immediately thrown right back at me and I laugh. A lot's changed since you started here. For the better, I hope. Not all of it, but most of it. I chuckle. Coming from Nanase, that's quite the compliment. She doesn't typically mince words, and there's been a couple times where I thought she might smack me. Who knows? Maybe I would have deserved it too. Most is good enough for me. I'll take it. It's impressive. To be honest, I thought you'd be one screw-up after another. Though, I'd have to kick you out of here myself. I can't help but laugh. If I hadn't known her so well, I might actually take what she says as a threat, but I know better. You really care about everyone, don't you? They're all I have. Oh. They're all you have? Damn. What about family? She doesn't... Nah. Families have been a revolving door since I was a kid. Ever been in foster care? No. No, can't say I have. It sucks, trust me. I'm not alone. This is a different side of Nanase that I'm seeing tonight. A side I bet hardly anyone sees. No one wants to keep you. In and out. Back and forth. I'm sorry. I can't imagine how rough that would be. Why are you apologizing? You didn't put me up for adoption. We can't help but feeling a little guilty about hearing it. Nanase breaks out into laughter. Well, I don't know how to respond. I'm glad she can laugh about it, or at least laugh at me for making it awkward. Eventually I manage a response. That's why the cafe means so much to you? They're your family. Yeah. Is that what you and Hayasaka-san were talking about? Nanase stops and thinks for a moment before realizing what I'd meant. That's right, peeping Tom. What? I never meant to. It just sounded like you two didn't get along for a while. But instead of teasing me, Nanase lets out a sigh. Something like that. Long history is all. It's not important. Nanase waves off the topic, signaling she's done talking about it, not even in the mood to tease me over listening in. She made that one comment, sure, but I've gotten much worse for much less. I don't push the subject though. If Nanase doesn't want to talk about it, then I won't force her. No reason to spoil the night. Still, what a party. Valeria-san, you know how to throw them. Nanase suddenly changes the topic. Well, we keep things up like this and maybe there'll be more. Then don't screw up. I won't screw up. If you won't. Sounds like a deal to me. Then let's both work hard. Yeah, I'm not the one to be worried about here. And here I thought we were finally equals. Maybe there's no true equal to Nanase. Those are shoes I certainly can't feel. Even so, it gets a good laugh out of me. Even she looks to be amused by the whole situation. I'm going home. Need to crash out after tonight. Alright then. Enjoy the day off. Nanase gives a final wave as she disappears out into the night. I stayed watching for a bit before heading home myself. It's been a hell of a day. Honestly, I couldn't be happier. The party was a big success, and we've all got tomorrow off. Finally, things are back to normal. Whatever normal is. And... a loner's life for me. What does this entail, a loner's life? It's impressive how you have managed to do that. Okay, so this must mean that we've done something bad, possibly? But we'll think of that in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you have in store for this episode in terms of what you think about the different events that have transpired so far and all of the different things that have been going about throughout this episode. Make sure to leave a comment on what you loved about this episode. Make sure to leave a like so that I know that you've enjoyed this episode, and make sure to let the developers know what you think about this game alongside purchasing it for yourself to see what you have to say about this game, and also embrace the experience of Girls, Girls, Girls with your own two eyes without me talking over and letting you enjoy it at your own pace. Thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next time of this wonderful, truly magical game of Girls, Girls, Girls. And have a lovely day, you wonderful maids.